Dallas. What? Dallas attracts tourists with its rich architecture, beautiful parks, theme museums,
What the fuck are you talking about?
and a dark page in history associated with the assassination of President Kennedy.
Outplayed.
Perk decks typically have certain ways you build them. You build Armorer for armor, you build Rogue for dodge, and you build Hacker to be a pussy. But there are mistakes that can happen during the building process. Some are minor, and we all fall victim to these, but some are pretty bad.
You don't want to be like this.
But Payday, being the flexible game it is, can be played with pretty much anything you can possibly think of. And that includes going against the core values of your deck just for meme value. And that's what I intend to do today. I've got 4 builds with 4 different decks that I've purposely built wrong just for your entertainment. So, if you're cool with that, if you fuck with that, then keep watching and I'll show you. Let's go.
Look how winded he is from doing that one spin. I gotta say.
So when you think of putting a dodge deck in ICTV, I'm sure you think it's just a bad and dysfunctional meme. But there's actually 2 decks that can dodge after being put in an ICTV. Okay, technically there's 3, but look at this. Nobody's doing that, so I'm not counting it. Those 2 decks are Sicario and Hacker. And since you already know how I feel about this deck, Sicario it is. I think ICTV Sicario is actually the most fun way to play this deck. Sicario has always been very in terms of fun factor and quite questionable in terms of its power and consistency.
While almost everyone knows Hacker is the best dodge deck, there aren't that many people who are aware exactly why Sicario is the second best.
ICTV just makes Sicario more novel to me. It's gonna get guaranteed dodges periodically, and it can be potentially turned into 3 and even 4-shot armor because of agility shield dodging. It's quite enjoyable and honestly not that far in power from regular Sicario if you ask me. Which is admittedly a very low bar anyway. Anarchist player with no health. Anarchist player with health.
I don't want to hear any excuses. Just stop shooting me.
If you haven't clicked off and assumed I was a loose asylum patient, then good, because Anarchist can absolutely take a health shot, and I'm willing to prove it. So, your average everyday heavy Zeal cop does 225 damage, but our little Anarchist twink only has 115 health. How do you make that work? Well, firstly, we take these 2 skills that are going to give us 10% damage resistance each, combining together to create a 20% damage resist. This cuts our humble heavy Zeal SWAT damage to 180. And now, if we add partners in crime, we can buff our anarchist friend's health by 69 health points. Nice. And what is 115 plus 69? Well... that's the deck with the least health in the game taking a full heavy zeal health shot. And if you're still not convinced, here's proof.
This hurts! I could really use a medic bag!
A couple things to note. If you want more consistent procs from Underdog Ace, you can switch some things around and put loud exits on the guns, which will typically draw more enemy attention. And lastly, if you happen to be in a lobby with Crew Chief, you won the game.
Banned in Turkey, and the government said that it was for the protection of the...
Something's up with these bizarro iPhones, and yes,
this is insane.
Try Mr. Beast cookies and...
What the fuck? Are you trying to tell me something, YouTube? What the hell is this? Why is everyone scared of Crook? It's a good deck. Alright, this is my cue that I should probably get back to work. Suit Crook is a personal favorite of mine. I don't know, I just find it really silly. Most people will look at this and say, this isn't gonna do anything. It's not a ballistic vest. And to that I say, WRONG! But you're in a good headspace. Good job. Yes, there are exactly 2 cards that Suit Crook can benefit from. The first and the last one. Subtle increases your dodge by 15, and Master Recovery increases your armor recovery rate by 10%. Notice how both of these cards are missing the for ballistic vests stipulation, which means, as meager as it is, Suit Crook can still get something from the deck, and I think that novelty is very funny. If you wanted to play worse burglar, which in itself is just worse rogue, then here it is.
I need...
I've taken your favorite health deck hostage and forced it to lose 70% of its health. But don't worry, Frenzy Muscle is indeed capable of taking a health shot. If you take these skills and you ace Frenzy, that's important, that little 30% tick is still capable of fully tanking a heavy zeal shot. I'm not gonna bore you with math again, just look at the footage.
Anybody got a medic bag to offer?
This is actually perfectly feasible for normal gameplay, since you were most likely going to take Facts and Jokers regardless with Muscle. Of course, it's not going to be as good as regular Muscle, but I think it's a very quirky and fun little side grade to Muscle, especially in an ICTV. And that's the video. 4 builds purposely built against the best wishes of the deck just for funnies. This is one of my favorite things to do with builds, so if you liked it, let me know with a comment, maybe even a like and a subscribe if you're so generous. Who knows, maybe I'll put together some more of these sometime. I'd like to give a quick thank you to my members, Spammy Rammy, Ace, Hacksoon, Doctingus MD, Cyber, Mr. America, Maxi, Super Cooper, 90% Fox, Protein Sniffer, Troj, Adats, Nesser, Zor the Protogen, Flaccid Pringle, Jarrao, Spiked S4M, and Eat My Birds. Thank you for supporting me. It means a lot. It keeps the channel running. Thank you very much. If you'd like to become a member, it's only $3 a month. You get to be featured here and other cool shit like that. Thank you to my most recent subscribers. Yeah, this is a new thing you can do. I think I'll include this in videos more. And with all that being said, I hope you have a very good night.